Hey everybody, welcome back to ROMR. Today is a very special episode because we have a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Lindsay. I'm Brian's better half.
That's right. Going on 25 years. We just celebrated that.
Last week.
Yeah.
25 years.
And so right off the bat, I'm going to tell our audience this, okay? Because 95% of you are male. Go grab your wives, go grab your girlfriends, sit on the couch and watch this together because we're out on a road trip and we're going to talk through quite a number of things related to the automobile industry and get your perspective this time around. And I'm going to do my best not to talk so much, and that's going to be hard.
Okay.
So why don't you remind them where we are and what we're doing?
Okay, so we are in the panhandle of Texas, and we are on our way back from Santa Fe. We dropped off the Sasquatch trailer for a little warranty work to be done, and so we are driving home.
But what are we in?
We're in the Durango.
Just a Durango?
That's about all I know.
Okay, that's a good way to start this episode. We are in a 2025 Dodge Durango RT all-wheel drive 20th anniversary premium edition.
That's a lot of info about a car.
There's a lot to remember. And we are doing a review of this, okay? So, and it's really like a 3-part review. We did the drive up, towing the camper, which was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Now we're bombing it back to Texas, 9 hours today, which is a totally different experience.
Yes.
And then there's part 3, and that's going to be with Casey. Casey's already ticked off that we did this trip without him, and no, he wasn't invited.
No, we didn't invite him.
We did not invite him.
No.
Okay, but he's going to get his time in the Durango.
Okay.
But if they want to watch that review, what do they need to do?
Subscribe.
They need to subscribe to the channel.
Hit like.
Like.
It's down here, I think.
You've been watching.
Yeah, I watched.
And then there's one more thing they need to do. If they want to know when that future episode drops.
They have to, I don't know.
The little bell notification.
Oh, notification. Notification, subscribe, and like.
All right, we'll get there.
There you go.
Yeah. I think you're going to be in a lot of future videos, babe. It's time.
All right, well.
It's time. The channel's taking off. We've got this makeshift studio in the garage taking up space.
Yeah, taking up a lot of space in the garage. It's all right.
That's all right.
It's all right.
Okay, so I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm gonna start out. We're gonna talk a little bit about your interest in cars.
Okay.
Whether you're interested or not.
Do I have a choice, Brian? Do I have a choice?
Well, maybe we'll get into that.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit about your favorite and least favorite cars that we've had, because there's been a few. We'll get to that.
Okay.
And then let's talk about road trips and adventure travel, things we love to do.
Okay.
And then future.
All right.
All right. So it's buckle up.
Lots of things. That's lots of things to talk about.
It is. So first question.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself a car person?
Yes. Yes. I would say I do like cars. And that's not just because of you.
That's right.
It's been enhanced maybe by you. But I've always kind of been a car person.
This is your dad's fault.
This is my dad's fault. I'm going to blame it on my dad. All the men in my life, let's just say that. All 2 of you.
Shout out to Dean.
Yeah.
Because he's watching. He's a big fan.
He's a big fan. Big fan. So my very first car was a Jeep, red Jeep.
XJ,
1995. We called it the Little Red Wagon. Loved that car. This car did not have airbags. This was the year before airbags kind of hit the scene.
Yeah, you had to have them.
Yeah, you had to have them. And so my dad kind of was like, oh, no, I need her to have airbags. So
your dad loves his daughters.
Yeah.
Wanted them to be safe.
Of course.
So he traded in a brand new, year-old 95 XJ, basically.
Right, for an Acura Integra little car that had airbags.
Yes.
And it was great. I loved that car. It was a lot of fun, but I did love my Jeep. But he was like, it's not safe. It doesn't have airbags. And so that kind of became the theme there on out for me having cars constantly
You were
being
in and
switched.
out of cars.
I was. It just kind of started. And my dad's a car guy. Not as much as you, but
I don't know about that.
I think he lives vicariously through you.
He switches out cars quite often. He was kind of my inspiration. he fostered a bad habit.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
And I know about all these cars because we've been together that long. We actually dated all the way back in high school.
That's right. I picked you up on our very first date in that Jeep.
That's right. And it's all that Jeep was also the inspiration for the current Jeep we have, which is a red Jeep Wrangler.
Yes. which we also love.
We do love it, although it's going away soon.
It is.
And we'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had a lot of new cars back in the day.
Right.
Combined in the 25 years we've been married and the 30 years that we've been together, we are well over 50.
That's really embarrassing.
It is. Car people. It's gotten worse since the channel has come along, and it's given us a reason to cycle through quite a bit.
Right.
And we always look for an opportunity to do that the right way.
Right.
Okay. Find what makes the most sense, and we love a good deal.
Yes. As does my dad.
Yeah.
As does my dad. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you consider yourself a car person, all right? But what do you like about cars? What draws you to them, and what are you interested in?
I like interiors. I like interiors more than I like exteriors. I'm more drawn to what does it look like inside? Is it comfortable? I have some very strong dislikes with cars, which kind of drives you crazy. We've gone over this a lot as we've looked at cars. If a car gives off a certain feel on the outside, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
There's been a car where I've been like, that car looks like a catfish. We can't buy that car. And he's like, you're crazy. So there's just certain little things sometimes that I'm like, oh, listen to that. I'm like, oh, no, we can't have that car. Its color on the inside. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that was fun. Sorry.
We just ran up against adaptive cruise control logic or illogic. Sorry about that.
All right. Buckle up.
It's all good.
Okay, we're fine. So I'm really weird about interior colors and the way that they match. Which is another thing that, if the ceiling color,
the
headliner doesn't match anything on the inside of the car, I'm like, absolutely not. Why did they do that? It all has to flow. So there's certain things that really trick me up a little bit. And
that headliner issue has taken cars off the list before. Yes. Really good cars.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it gray when the rest of the car is brown or black? Yeah. It has to fit with the rest of it.
The brown-gray collision.
Yeah. That's a no-go.
That's a no-go.
That's a no-go for me.
And I did learn that from you. Yeah. That is pretty horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I get that they're probably trying to match the headliner with the sky. Why? I'm not outside. I'm inside a car. Anyway.
Yeah.
There's certain things.
Now, what I've always found interesting is it's never the technology, really.
No.
For you.
No.
Now, technology is a big thing for me, and I'm all about simplicity, but also a lot of capability. Finding the blend between technology and the user interface, and there's an art to that.
Sometimes there's way too much technology in a car, that they've overcomplicated it, and to the point where we're not even sure that we can use this in a practical way. If I'm driving down the road and I need to switch, the radio station, or I need to be able to switch the AC on and off, sometimes cars make it way too complicated, and that'll take it off the list for you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Right away, because I need you to be able to get in the car and not get frustrated. I need our daughters, to be able to get in the car and not be frustrated. Hand the keys to somebody, they ought to be able to operate it.
Right.
And I think, overall in the industry, people really we went through a phase where people lost sight of that, and I think the auto manufacturers are coming back to that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Now, another thing that we always get in arguments about is we'll start going through a list of things, whatever, if it's time to bring a new car into that. And if you see it in the wrong color, you're like, ew.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a terrible color.
Well, it's like gray cars.
You hate gray cars?
I hate gray cars. I don't mind dark gray cars. This is a really nice
charcoal
gray. This is a nice charcoal gray. But a gray car to me means it's they forgot to paint the car.
Okay.
I'm like, that's the color of metal.
Or silver, you're not really silver. A silver, so
no.
Cybertruck, no.
Absolutely.
For a million other reasons.
That's a lot. That's a whole nother episode. But gray cars, it's you forgot the paint. Paint the car. So
paint the car.
Paint the car.
Automaker? That's funny.
But I'm sorry if you really like gray cars.
I'm trying to think back through.
Never.
I don't think we've had one.
No.
We're probably wrong about that.
That's
Do you remember? Actually, you know what? Do you remember the very first GMC Acadia?
It was
Was it-
black.
It was not black, but it was a dark gray. It was like the charcoal
Dark
finish.
gray.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay. Oh, great. We may be getting a overheating warning on the camera. We'll see. We'll see if we can keep it going.
Okay, we're gonna try.
We might fix that a
gonna
little
try.
bit. So let's see what we can do. There we go. We'll cool it off up there a little bit. Okay. So, a car person.
Yeah.
I've even drug you all over the country looking at cars. You have to put up with a lot.
Yes.
We've done car shows in New York.
Yep.
We've
Detroit.
done Detroit. And we actually did LA one year. You probably don't even remember that.
No, I don't remember.
We went out there for a concert, and it happened to be the same weekend. We went.
Yeah. Hey,
we
I got
did
a
Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah, I got a concert out of that one.
And we did the LA Auto Show.
Yeah.
Between New York and Chicago, New York and Detroit, which one was your favorite?
I don't remember the New York one. They all blend together.
Sorry about that.
Because it's just giant rooms full of cars.
Yeah. But you enjoyed Detroit, the city.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you like American architecture,
Yeah. And
early
history.
20th century
And
and
just
history.
history. It's just such a cool place.
And urban decay,
Yeah, a lot of
that's the
urban
place
decay.
to go check it out.
Yeah.
They're making a comeback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, there's lots of walking around car lots, looking at cars. There's, oh, hey, I need to go see if they have this one car. And then we walk all over a lot and they don't have it. There's just, there's lots of, sometimes I stay in the car. But I like to look at, I like to look at cars.
I think you do.
it's
You more,
interesting.
you, not if it's 20 degrees outside.
It also makes a difference if we're actually in the market for a car.
Oh,
Like
well,
if
that's
we're
fair.
not actually in the market, like if we have 2 cars that we just acquired, like why are we looking? Well, it's like window shopping. Like I don't really window
There's
shop.
always a next one.
Yeah, but is it 2 years from now? All these cars are going to change.
Yeah, but, okay, fair enough. But we do a car channel
It's true.
as a hobby.
It's true.
Reminder, it is a hobby. We do
True.
have jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so nights and weekends.
Don't quit your day job.
Don't
please.
quit your day job.
Okay.
Greg will appreciate hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's watching too. Shout out, Greg.
Yes.
Okay, so let's pivot a little bit and let's talk about your favorite cars that you've ever had.
Okay.
1 or 2, 3 or 4, I don't care. But what's the one you probably enjoyed the most? Maybe that you miss.
I miss the Telluride.
The Kia Telluride.
Yeah.
The origin of the channel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the kickoff car. We saw it in Detroit
Yes.
and decided, man, if we were ever going to start a channel, Casey and I said, that's the car we want to start with because it was
Yeah.
such a game changer.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful design.
It was.
It kind of got back to boxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Strong.
It was very, very different than anything else on the road at the time.
Yeah. It's like, we're not afraid of who we are.
Yeah.
It kind of had that attitude and an all new look for Kia.
And the inside was really nice for the price. And I felt like, even though it was too much car for us,
Because it was 3 rows and we didn't need 3 rows.
We didn't need 3 rows. It had captain's chairs, which I love, by the way. Huge fan of captain's chairs.
The Durango has captain's
Durango has
chairs.
captain chairs. I don't know why, but I just think it's genius. I just loved that car. I also loved the Hunt. There was something in the Hunt of it that you couldn't get one. Couldn't get. I called dealer. I never called dealers looking for a car, but I was like, I gotta have it. So there was something about that. So yeah,
Just got to rush.
I did. Yeah, that was fun. And I got the one I wanted, and we had to go get it, and so that was a lot of fun. Like just knowing that was really hard to get, maybe was also like it was a novelty, and everyone wanted one. That was kind of fun, and and it wasn't like it wasn't a Porsche. I wasn't paying a whole bunch of money for it. It was also like getting a really good deal, and everyone wanted it. Like when you would pull up at a gas station, people would be like, "Oh, is that the new Telluride?" And yeah. I don't know. There was something about that. In the end, it was way too much car for us. Like we don't need 3 rows. We don't need a big SUV. So I was I was fine to see it go. But,
Well, and we also reviewed it, and we needed to move on to other things.
Yeah.
Man, that was the car where Kia came of age. They really turned the corner in the American market because it was an American style product. It was,
I still remember that commercial. They played it during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that commercial, like it had me in tears.
It was genius.
It was so good. That little boy, I remember it. The Telluride, like going through the fields. Like, what is that?
Yeah,
genius.
they were tugging at the heartstrings. That was, and it's still a huge seller for them. They've gone through a couple of iterations of it, just upgrades on the outside, but by and large, I mean, here we are 5 years into that run, and they have a winning formula.
Yeah,
and they've been
really
trying
great.
to replicate it.
Yeah,
that was a great vehicle. We sold several Kias just through our videos and through word of mouth. So Kia, keep it coming. Actually, they've been great.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they loved our review of the Telluride. They let us start reviewing their cars.
Yeah.
They were probably the first ones to jump on board with ROMR. Back then, family first reviews.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We went through a little name change as we got a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah.
So the Kia was at the top of the list.
Okay.
What else?
Let's see. I liked our Acadia as well. Kind of along the same lines. It was big SUV. We had little kids at the time.
We did.
I did not want a minivan. I was one of those moms who was like, I'm too cool for a minivan. But I liked the inside because it was like a minivan. So it was like a minivan on the inside, but kind of like an SUV crossover on the outside. So, and I had little kids at the time. They could get in and out of it themselves. It had captain's chairs. So, that was just a really good car at the time. I also loved the Bolt.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. The Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
And we had 3 of them, by the way.
Yeah.
We did.
3?
We had 3. Didn't we?
No, we had 2.
Why do I feel like you're right? We only had the 2. No. We had 3. We leased a 2017 Chevy Bolt, the first one that came out, which we also saw in Detroit, the concept car. Great story. Okay, for another day.
Okay.
We leased the 2017. Then we turned around and we leased another 2020, and it got recalled.
That's right.
And Chevrolet, 2 years into that second lease, swapped it for a brand new one.
Yes, that one was awesome.
It was awesome. It had all the features in it. Why do you love the Bolt so much?
Because it's electric. It's fast. Man, quick. Not fast. Quick. Zippy. I felt like I drove that one around town all the time. I could get in and out of parking spots, parking lots, around cars. I just felt like kind of aggressive and quick in that car.
But it wasn't a big, heavy car.
No,
it was just very easy to manage.
Yeah. Our daughters drove those cars and loved them. I loved not having to go to a gas station. I love that. Kind of is what set me on EVs, and I kind of love EVs. I have one now that I love. I don't know. The Bolts were great cars.
They had so much usable technology in them on top of being an EV that really made it really appropriate, like you said, as our oldest daughter was learning to drive. It had forward collision, and it had so she felt very safe in it, and it had the right type of technology. And so instead of screaming at you, it would just flash a red light up on the screen. It would not allow you to hit a car, so it protected itself. It had good 360-degree cameras on it.
Right.
Android Auto and CarPlay, very simple controls. So on top of just being a great first real EV from Chevy, and for the money, you just got a lot.
Yeah.
Now, you couldn't road trip in that car.
No.
We tried.
No, that was a fail.
It was a big fail. It just didn't charge fast enough. But we tried to do it anyway just to feel it out.
Yeah, and just to Austin and back. We didn't even go very
180
far.
miles there and 180 miles back, and it just was not fun.
Yeah.
But now, you do drive an EV now. We got out of EVs and you said, no. You went a couple of years with a traditional ICE and you said, no, I want an EV back.
Right.
Why is that?
I like the speed. I like the technology. I like the get up and go. I love not having to fill up with gas. Brian can attest. I'm always out of gas. And I don't know how it happens, but I'm always on empty. And I'm like, how did this happen? And so maybe it's from being in an EV all the time and I'm just not used to watching it. But
that's not it at all. My brother and I text each other photos from the cars our wives drive when we get in them, and they're always out of gas. We will text the photo, and it's been that way for years.
I don't know.
Okay, and it's fine. Look,
I'm a fairly well put together person.
I'm just amazed at how far down y'all will go with the fuel. No, what you know though is that we're going to go fill it up.
I fill up with gas too.
No, you will if you have to, but usually no.
It's because I don't realize that I'm out of gas.
Yeah, well, God bless the EV.
Yes.
Because now we just have to plug it in.
Right, which I do.
Oh, we've got it. Oh. We have quite a situation up here.
Ooh.
We have a highway closure.
Everybody is getting off the
Everybody
highway.
is flying off the freeway.
Okay. Oof.
All right. Well, we will do this safely.
Okay.
So we went through a little bit of a learning curve with plugging in the car.
Yes.
Okay, and now, you know what? Plugging in the car was a big deal when we got the Jeep because it's a hybrid and it only does 22 miles. It needs to be plugged in when it's at home.
Right.
All the time.
All the time.
But with the new EV, maybe we should just pivot to that. What are you driving now?
I drive a Blazer, an EV Blazer, an SRT. No.
False.
I don't know what I drive. There's a lot of letters.
You did get part of that right.
Letters?
Okay, you drive a Blazer, a brand new 2024 Chevy Blazer RS EV.
RS EV.
Okay.
That's it.
Now that one we only have to plug in about once a week, maybe.
Right.
All right.
But see, I tried to plug it in the other day, and you're like, no, don't plug it in. I'm running it all the way down.
I'm running it all the way down because I wanted to do an episode and all of this. Okay, this is great.
This is hard.
Is it too hard?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. We are doing content on the Blazer, and I want to do a full charging test, and so I wanted to run it down.
Okay.
All right. But in normal course of living and driving, once a week, maybe.
Okay.
Which is great because we still plug in the Jeep daily.
Yes.
So we're not competing.
Yes.
Okay. If you had two EVs at home, you're not going to be competing because you're probably only going to plug them in once a week, most likely.
Right.
All right.
Right.
But that's a game changer for EVs with the Blazer. It's radically different than the Bolt, right?
Right.
Because what's the major difference? Major difference.
The range.
The range?
Yes.
And the ability to charge it on the road,
yes.
High-speed charging.
Right. It charges faster.
Much faster.
Which for me is a game changer because we have a kid that's about to go away to college. And so we want to be able to take this car on road trips and be able to charge it on the way. And it seems like the world is, adjusting to this, adapting. They're making charge stations
all over.
All over. I hope they're really doing it well. Coffee shops. I don't know.
Just places to relax.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the future, right? Like, it's going to be everywhere.
And if you can, and we're seeing this, 20 to 25 minutes from 10 to 80%, that's the ideal recharging time period, and level. And that's doable. And, now we have Tesla, Rivian starting to build out their network. In Texas, we're going to see EV stations, high speed, every 50 miles on the interstate. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So the whole range anxiety thing is quickly going away.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the Blazer, it is a larger car. It is a heavier car with a very different approach to, I would say, the technology. But do you like it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thus far,
really like it. Yeah. I mean, I've only had it about a month, but yeah, I like it a lot. I like the way that it drives. Obviously, I like the way it looks, which I was kind of.
You're kind of on the fence at first. I was too.
But it was a great deal. So I was like, I'm all for a deal.
We love a great deal.
I love a great deal. But the more I drive it, I just really like it. I like the way it feels on the road. I will tell you that parking it is a beast, but maybe I'll get better.
It's big,
Yeah.
and when you're sitting in it, it's hard to kind of tell where the corners are.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pivot again.
Okay.
What are your least favorite cars that we've had over the years? I know it's number one on the list.
Number one, we had a little red Volkswagen Jetta wagon.
It was a Jetta Sport Wagon TDI diesel.
Oh, diesel. First off,
This is my fault.
This was yes. I was driving on the highway.
You were back then.
Back
a lot
and
of miles.
forth on like a terrible highway, and I was in this tiny little car. I was scared to death, and diesel. Like I was always afraid I was going to fill it up with the wrong kind of gas. So I had that kind of anxiety going on, and then it was just tiny. I had a little kid that was in school. She was in school and in like a car seat. It could barely fit her in her backpack and her car seat in the back seat. I was like, what are we doing? This is it was terrible. And I went from a big car to that little car. And it was all about diesel and fuel efficiency and it's going to be amazing. And I don't even know how long we lasted in that car.
It wasn't very long.
It was bad.
We gave up the Acadia for that little TDI, and it did great on gas.
It did.
And it did great on road trips. But yeah, getting in and out daily, not a lot of fun. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
That was your least favorite.
Yeah, that was my least favorite.
What else did you not like driving?
I'm trying to think. I mean, we did have a giant truck once. Giant.
Yeah, but I drove that.
You drove it most of the time.
Ram 1500 with a 5.7 liter V8, which is
huge.
in this car 15 years later. Here it is in this brand new Dodge Durango.
Yeah.
Man, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun to drive, but also terrifying at the same time.
It's big.
Yeah, it was huge. But one thing I did like about that is the kids could sit in the back seat and not hit each other.
Couldn't touch each other. They were so
couldn't
far
even
apart.
reach each other. That was a plus.
It was plus. Great for road trips.
Yeah.
We camped in the back of that truck in Colorado. We did a lot of fun stuff in that truck.
Yeah, but I didn't like driving it personally. You've tried on several occasions to teach me how to drive a standard. So any car that you've had that's been a standard and you've tried to teach me, that's been a big fail as well. That's not your fault. I will say that, but because Chevy tried to teach me as well.
Our sister-in-law.
Her name is Chevy. She tried to teach me, and she's like the most patient person I know, and that was a no-go.
Just didn't take.
It hasn't taken. I don't know. I've tried on several occasions. So all of those cars.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because then I'm like, well, if one car's broken, I can't drive the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
That's me. That's all on me.
Now, you did have the Jeep Wrangler.
Yes.
We sold the Gladiator and we got a Wrangler because you said you wanted a Wrangler.
Yep.
And I think you were nostalgic for your XJ, the red XJ.
Well, and
you wanted
I
a
love the
Jeep.
way they look.
They
They're
look
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
But that lasted less than 6 months.
Yeah.
And then that became my car.
Yes.
Why?
They're very hard to get in and out of on a daily basis. And they're loud.
It's loud.
Loud. It's not smooth. It's bouncy.
This is where EVs ruined you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. It was really hard to get in and out of. I will say that. And like, you can't get anyone else in and out of it very well either. Like, we tried to get my mom in and out of the back seat of that. I was like, how do we even do this? Sorry, Mom. And then, yeah, it was just really, really loud. Now, we have one of those, the sliding tops. What are they called?
Oh, the one, Sky One Touch roof on the Wrangler.
Which is awesome. Beautiful day, awesome. But
hit a button.
It
opens all the way
back. It's amazing, but it is loud. And so, I don't know. Yeah, I love the quietness of an EV. It is literally,
it changes the game for you.
You don't realize how much you love quiet until you don't have it anymore. And you're like, what is all this racket?
Spoken like a true mom.
Yeah, for real. The only time I'm ever alone is when I'm in the car by myself.
And, you know, we're doing 9 hours of driving today.
Yeah.
We don't listen to the radio on road trips. We very rarely listen to music. We can just chill out for 9 hours in silence.
Yeah, we don't even really talk to each other.
We don't that much.
25 years, babe.
Hey, cheers. And, you know, but honestly, I think that's one thing we've really shared is enjoying long road trips. Driving has never been a problem for us.
Right.
It is very relaxing, you know, you can kind of zone out. And we also do like to just go. Like the adventure part of it.
For sure.
I would describe you as a casually adventurous.
Sure. As long as I don't have to work too hard for it.
Yeah, well, but what I mean is, you know, oh, check that out over there. It's 10 miles away.
Yeah,
you want to go?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
You know, we'll change an itinerary on the
For
fly.
sure.
We'll decide the day before, okay, we were going to go there, but let's go do this instead. And we just saw it, you know?
Yeah.
And you're always up for whatever.
For sure.
Now,
you only live once, right?
You only live once. Now, who's not up for that?
Well, that would be our teenage daughter.
Daughters.
Well, both.
Both
yes.
of them.
Now, they don't watch the channel, so.
Yeah, they don't. It's
We
okay.
can say
This might be the one episode they ever watch.
That's
But
true.
it'll probably be 20 years from now.
That's true. Yeah. It's true. But
Hopefully like 30 or 40 years from now. But yeah, they like a plan,
Yes.
and they get real annoyed at sitting in the car for hours upon hours, and they want to know what we're doing, and they don't
Yeah.
like change.
they do not like change.
So things like today,
Yeah,
it's great for us.
right. And you know what? Here's to the next 25 years.
Absolutely.
We're going to be empty nesters come this summer.
Very soon.
So,
And so, you know, you and I do like to do this type of travel. It's not going to be as easy, believe it or not, because we've got some other things going on over the next couple of years, a lot of international travel
Yeah.
for your job and for mine. But when we can, we want to get out and do adventure travel. And that's evolved over time for us, right? We went through several stages. Right? So we went from just camping in the back of the truck,
right.
okay,
right.
which was interesting.
Yeah.
Then we went to, and I mean camping in the truck bed,
Yeah, like
okay, with a full-size truck.
with a tent that's attached, like to the back.
Yeah,
So,
to the
yeah,
back.
it's not the best.
But then rooftop tents kind of came along, and we
Yeah.
jumped into the Jeep Gladiator, and then we went with a rooftop tent on top of a rack.
Yep.
There,
That was much
Okay.
better.
much better.
Yeah, especially for only 2 people. We did try it a couple times with 4 of us.
It worked.
It worked.
We had a big tent.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're passing Cadillac Ranch outside of Amarillo,
yeah.
Texas, Route 66 Icon.
There you go.
Okay, and then we had a really rough night of weather down in Big Bend.
Yes.
Really high winds, strong storms.
Yeah.
And you said what?
Never again.
You didn't want to do that
I
again.
literally thought there was a tornado happening outside, and it, like, nothing. Like, we got up the next morning and, like, 1 chair had fallen over. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it was pretty rough. We didn't sleep at all.
No.
And so we went on search for a teardrop style adventure camper, and that's how we ended up with the Sasquatch.
Yes. Which has been awesome.
It has
Amazing. It has allowed us to adventure in lots of fun ways.
Yep.
And
it'll go anywhere
And sleep well.
and sleep well.
Yeah.
But maybe the Sasquatch is going away.
Maybe.
We will see.
Yeah.
Currently for sale.
Yep.
And there's a reason for that. One, the girls are going away.
Right.
Our camping squad is increasingly busy. We're going to be traveling a lot overseas, like we said.
Yep.
Really not going to be a whole lot of use for it in the next 2 years. And we thought, hey, let's let somebody else take this and enjoy it. But that means that we'll move on to some other form
Right.
of travel.
So many other forms to choose from, honestly.
Yeah, now we'll see what happens over the next couple of months and year, because I'd still like to have something available to us
Of course.
if we do want to get out for a weekend or a long weekend, or we do get the opportunity drive up to Colorado and, spend a week. That would
Right.
be great.
Right.
But I want it to be light. I want it to be easy.
Right.
And we'll figure that out. Future content.
Right.
Okay. Long term, what do you want to do?
Ooh, man, long term is definitely more of like an Airstream. That's my dream, is to Airstream and travel around, visit all the national parks. We've seen a bunch of them, but I would love to do that. When we retire, like, we're going to have so much time to just really adventure.
And a desire to.
Yes,
right?
for sure. Yeah. And so I'm just really looking forward to those days. I mean, that's a long ways away. We're not that old. But I would love to be able to do that, to where we can, have a small place that you can walk away, lock the door, and not have to worry about all the plants dying or the grass being mowed, and just like get in your, RV or pull your Airstream and then just go and see what's next. Take 3 or 4 weeks and travel the entire, West Coast and visit all of the, wonderful things to see.
All the parks and
There's so
everything,
many
yeah.
things to see out there.
There's a lot of America out there.
Yeah.
We'd like to check it out.
Yeah.
Now, you said an Airstream, but you got to tow an Airstream.
Yes.
You can't go off-grid with an Airstream. You
True.
can't really go anywhere outside of a normal
True.
campsite. We've also talked about more of an adventure van style setup.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think you can't live with me in that small of a space? I'm too gassy.
You are gassy. No. Yes, I think we can do that for sure.
Okay.
I think we
I'll
can do
get to
that for
looking.
sure. Well, you pump the brakes, mister.
There's always the next one. You got to plan ahead for these things.
Yes. Your planning ahead is like 6 weeks, though, let's be honest. You're like, I found something. I'm going to buy it. It's like,
Ooh.
no. No, you will not. I think that...
I feel attacked.
I think that we... I think there's so many things for us to go and do. There's places to see. There's lots of people to visit. Like, we have a lot
That's
of
true.
people all over to go visit as well. And so I just love that idea of being able to just get in whatever vehicle and just
Go.
and pull up and be like, hey, we're here. We brought our own place to stay.
That will be a fun future.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, for those of you out watching, love to hear what you do. Drop it down in the comments. Tell us, what kind of setup you have, where you've been going, what your favorite places to go were, what's your least favorite places to avoid, maybe. We don't want to go there.
No.
So let's talk about the channel for a little bit. So you've put up with the fact that Casey and I do these episodes every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's growing. Okay, so there's more to do on the weekends, and we've gotten more opportunities to go out and visit with manufacturers and see cars. What's your favorite episode that ROMR has done?
Oh, gosh.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, for real. That's really hard. You
Uh-oh.
should have given me a little heads up on that one.
I was hoping what you would say is
Okay.
the one we haven't even aired yet.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not fair. I mean, the Cybertruck ones can be great. I mean,
But it's going to be great. Why?
because I know the guy that owns a Cybertruck.
We gave him a hard time.
We did.
We gave him a good razzing.
But
and
that's okay. But
it's
that's
okay.
okay. That's
He was
okay.
a great sport about it.
He's always a great sport. That's what's great about Cody.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe for that.
Yes.
At some point, I'm going to get the editing done for the Cybertruck video. It is
Yeah.
not an easy one. So
Yeah.
we're
one's,
getting there.
That one's gonna be great. There's a lot of fun ones. Like, I think back to when we were just whatever cars would show up, right? Like, they just would deliver cars. Do you remember when they delivered a box truck? And they were like, here, or not a box truck, it was like that van.
It was a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Yeah, and it was empty.
An empty, like a cargo van. And they said, do you want it? And we said, hell yes.
And then y'all just came up with random stuff to do inside of it. That was really funny.
It was a great video to do.
Yeah.
Nobody watched it.
No. Go back and watch that one.
A big yellow Sprinter van.
Yeah. I think I drove that one.
You did.
And I was like, why am I driving this yellow empty Sprinter van? Yeah. You know.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a fun one. We've had some real stinkers out there, things where just absolutely nobody watches, and we were dead sure people were gonna watch it.
Yeah. I love the videos, like back in the beginning when like Casey was trying to like see if like car seats were gonna fit in the back, and he was like getting in the car seats and like, you know, trying to get the seat belts in. Like those always make me laugh.
He was the car seat commando.
That's right.
Now, that's a little bit in our past. Okay, we moved on into more of the adventure stuff.
Right.
And I'm always amazed at what people really like. One of the most viewed videos we've ever had was a 2.5-minute video we did when we were all at Electrify Expo in Austin. Yeah. And they had that brand new Lexus 700 hybrid, the LX 700 hybrid. And we were the first people in the U.S. to see it.
Y'all were so excited.
We were so excited to open the door. Mm-hmm. We were the first people in the U.S. to open that door. And, you know, we thought, okay, well, we'll put this out there and there will be Lexus people who are interested. That video blew up. It's still going.
Yeah.
We get a ton of interest in that product, and you guys liked it. So we really never know.
Right.
Except we do know people love the Scout.
I love the Scout.
You love the Scout.
I'm going to be the owner of a Scout one day. That I do know.
I was watching the live reveal. You walked in the room and you said,
"Is that a Scout? I want one in green."
In green. And Scout hasn't announced a green yet, but they told me they're working on one.
Yep.
Okay. So when we talk about future for the channel,
right,
we're a few years out.
Okay.
But we're going to have one. Okay.
All right.
And it does look amazing.
Good.
What now? I'm going to call you out. And this is not my title for a future episode. This was yours. Women say the darndest things about cars.
That'd be me.
Because you texted into the family group chat that you couldn't wait for or you wanted the Ford Scout in green.
Yeah. Look,
I
was very confused.
Confused emojis?
Yes, because I was confused as to why Ford was coming out with a Scout when they had the Bronco. And I was like, they kind of are similar. Why would they have both? But, you know, whatever Ford wants to do. I just am glad they have the Scout. I had no idea that it was its own separate entity, like not associated with anyone else. I had no idea.
You didn't know. It's okay. We got it sorted.
How would I know this?
Well, you know it now. Okay.
I mean, I don't keep these things in my brain. I have other things to do.
Okay. Scout's its own brand.
Yes.
Do you know who they're owned by?
Am I supposed to know this? Who?
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. You told me this.
They're owned by Volkswagen, but they operate independently as their own company in the U.S.
Okay.
But, it's okay.
Hey, if you didn't know that, now you do.
Now you do.
You're welcome.
Ladies.
Yep.
Impress your friends. Impress your husband.
Okay, your husband. Don't say that to your friends. They don't care.
Why? So, okay, that's my last question for this podcast.
Okay.
Why do, from your opinion, why do guys love cars? You got car guys all over the place. We don't have a lot of car ladies.
I don't know. That's a good question. Gender bias. I don't know. I go into a lot of things. I think that we have other things that we're interested in. I mean, I like some things that you like, but you don't like all the things that I like.
Yeah.
You know, I like camping. You like camping. But do you like clothes like I like clothes? No. We both like shoes.
Why do you think that is? Because statistically, it's overwhelming. Guys are more interested in cars than women, like 95%.
God, you're probably going to get me in trouble. I actually think that it's just the way that our brains are wired.
Okay.
You guys are like mechanically wired. Like your brains are like, how does that work? How can I put that together? How can I take it apart? How does this thing work? And that's what cars are, right? From the very, get-go.
Yeah, they're pieces of engineering and things to be tinkered with.
Now, can women not like those things? No, absolutely. Like, there's tons of women in engineering, and I'm all for that. It just doesn't come maybe naturally.
Yeah, and cars make really loud noises.
Right.
which guys seem to kind of think that's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. They like to make a lot of
At least
noise.
they used to.
And I could go on and on. I think it's,
No, I think, hey, loud, fast,
Right.
guys develop an affection for cars at a young age
Right.
because that represents freedom, and they can go out and do whatever the hell they want, and race them around because they don't have that chemical in their brain that
Right.
says, hey, this is too risky,
right.
and they're dumb,
Right.
right? And
It's like Talladega Nights, right?
yeah,
I
it's
want to go fast, Daddy.
all the time,
Right.
right? Do you think EVs changes the game a little bit? Do you think it kind of, because of the way they are and the way they operate, do you think that that sort of opens things up,
Maybe.
equals it out a little bit?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
You take the zoom, zoom, vroom, vroom, loud bang, out of the car. Is it different?
you tell me, do guys like the EVs? Do they miss the noise of the car?
Technology
Probably.
guys love EVs,
Right. But someone who drove a muscle car because of the noise isn't going to go buy an EV because what they really liked was the noise.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really, really slow transition for that crowd, and that crowd is overwhelmingly male.
Mhm.
And so I do think, if folks are going to start building more EVs, they ought to focus more of their time and energy on knowing what the ladies like and making sure they meet those needs. And
Well, women like luxury and they like ease of use.
fair enough. I think that's a good place to stop. Plus, we just pulled into Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go make a pit stop, grab some lunch, and hit the road and get home. So this was a ton of fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. And again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think, especially as we're empty nesters, you're going to be in more episodes coming up, babe. Hope you
Okay.
guys enjoyed it. Steel Casey's Awkward Way. ROMR out.